Hello and welcome to Spectrum. I'm Ruth.
And I'm Brenton, and we are excited to have with us today two great guests. We have Jezebel Wells, who is going to be sharing with us about art and her studio. Yes. And then we also have Anna Erickson, who is from the Albuquerque Police Department and talking to us about the Police Academy. So pretty cool stuff today. You're not going to want to miss out. But we're going to get to those interviews in just a minute, so stay with us. Today we are privileged to have with us Jezebel Wells, who is with Jezebel Gallery in Madrid, New Mexico. Jezebel, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
We are looking forward to learning about you and what you are involved with, and some of you are probably familiar with Jezebel's work and you didn't even know it, but we're going to let you in on how you've probably seen it. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background. How did you get involved with art? Do you have a art education? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Passion. Yes, well, I have a degree in sculpture and painting from Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh. And I've been passionate about glass since I was 10 years old.
I thought that was very interesting as I read that about you. You went to camp.
Yes.
And that's where you learned about glass art, right?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
And do you do blown glass or?
I'd studied glass blowing in school at Carnegie Mellon.
Wow.
And all kinds of different techniques with the glass.
Very cool.
Well, tell us about the illumination tree. I'm going to get right to it because some of you and me have seen the illumination tree and didn't know that this was Jezebel's handiwork. But tell us, where is it located and size? This is something that's at the Sunport, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And what were your sources of inspiration? That's a huge task. I wouldn't even know where to begin. So.
Well, I love to do public art, and that is probably the most public place that the work could be.
Sure.
I just love the relationship of people being able to interact and be inspired by the work. And the idea behind the tree is that it reflects all the colors of the sunset and the New Mexico sky and the New Mexico colors. So sort of a bridge between earth and sky.
And it is metal
and
glass.
And glass.
Okay, which is your passion. The glass is your passion. And how did you begin your work with iron, the wrought iron?
So I did study a little bit of metalsmithing, but my forte is really the glass. But I love the relationship between metal and glass and how there are similarities as well as their differences, fragility and the strength. And they're just really profound materials, and the reflective quality of the glass. And the project was just a really wonderful coming together of people working together, and hopefully it'll inspire people for years.
Now, it's a big piece. Give us the kind of the dimensions, because it's not, sometimes you walk into places like Sunport and you see different art pieces, but this one is significant. How big is it?
It's 14 feet by 14 feet.
You're not going to miss this one.
It's lit with all LED lights.
Okay.
And it's about 250 pieces of glass, about 150 actual illuminated blossoms.
Wow.
So it's very, very colorful.
Okay, so look for that at the Sunport, and you will not miss the illumination tree. And now you know who made it, Jezebel.
How is that, as you were working on that, to see an end product? When it's finished and you look at it, is it like what you imagined? What is that feeling?
So as an artist, very frequently we look at our end product and we're not always satisfied. I have to say that I really did feel good at the end of this project.
Oh, that's a great thought.
I really do love the way it came out.
And that was a long process as well.
It was a long process. There's a lot of planning. Every piece on there is pre-planned. It's all in Photoshop.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And how long did it take to put that from beginning to completion?
I think the entire project from the inception to the completion was probably 3 years.
That's a while. Wow.
Thank you.
Patience and staying steadfast. Now you have some patents which are interesting, or were awarded a patent for original glass work. Working technique. Tell us a little bit about that. I didn't know that you could have a patent for a glass working technique.
Now, technique you developed?
Yes. Yeah. Well, the glass I work with typically is very complexly colored glass, and whenever you're dealing with more than one color in glass, it gets technically complicated. You know, there are different expansion and contraction rates. So in working with that glass, it was very hard to shape large pieces. And it took about a year to develop the technique, and I applied for a patent. So, and
You were awarded.
And you were awarded one.
Amazing.
yeah.
So you are the one and only person who can do it, or I guess you can grant permission. I guess I don't know how that works, but that's pretty cool. That is really
Thank you.
neat stuff.
Yeah.
Now, your gallery not only houses your work, but work of local artists and a restaurant, right?
Yes,
How
yes.
did that come about?
Well, I love to support other artists. It means a lot to me for people to pursue self-expression through art, and I love representing. It's a lot of work, but I feel like there's a community of artists, and we're all kind of working towards making the world more beautiful. So the restaurant happened a little bit more by accident. The old-fashioned soda fountain in Madrid was closed down after many, many, many years. And people kept coming in and saying, "Where's the soda fountain? Where's the soda fountain?"
Okay.
So it had been next door to me. And I found out where it was located. I repurchased it and reinstalled the original Madrid old-fashioned soda fountain
my
in the
goodness.
building. Yeah. So it brings a lot of the local community in, and it's been really a warm place to be
And tourism.
with cold ice cream.
There you go.
Now,
Well, you
Mad-
can't find them anymore, so that's really cool.
Madrid isn't a very big place. I think the population in 2010 was somewhere around 150 people, or 149 officially. But there's a lot of tourist draw. Now, what made you decide to go to Madrid versus Santa Fe, or down to Old Town in Albuquerque? What made you go there, or made you that choice one that you had decided on?
Well, I had originally moved to Madrid when I first came here in '91, and it was back then it was the only place I could afford to be in an artist community. I since moved back to Santa Fe, and then had both places, a place in Madrid and Santa Fe for a little while, and then chose ultimately to expand and stay in Madrid. I think that I just love the artist community there. Also, it was, as an artist, more affordable for me to spread out and have my studio.
I see.
So I think when
More
it came
cost
to
effective.
that, yes, and I was able to both have my studio and a place open to the public at the same time.
Now, with so many things going on, how do you balance your gallery, the restaurant, raising a family? How do you put that all together?
That is a challenge. I would say that is a huge challenge, because my family is incredibly important to me. My kids probably come before anything. And I do look forward to them becoming more independent as they get older, so that I can double down my efforts with my business. But I don't get a lot of free time. So yeah, most of my free time is spent with my kids, and every other minute is working. So
if somebody wants to visit your gallery, do you have set hours where people can come your way and see all the things that you have available?
So 10 to 5, we're open almost every day of the year.
Wow.
I mean, of course, we're closed for Thanksgiving and Christmas and Easter. And otherwise, we're open.
Every day of the week.
Yeah, during the summer, we stay open till 6.
Okay.
So.
And is it easy to find you? What's the address for folks who would be wanting to drop in your way?
We're 2860 State Highway 14.
Okay.
We're really located in the middle of the town, on the boardwalk, in the center of Madrid, which is really a pretty small town.
Yeah, I've never been that way, and it's kind of a scenic drive to get there, so it's an interesting place. Part of the Turquoise Trail, I think.
Yes.
Coming that direction. Well, very interesting things that you're involved with. Do you have a website or anything like that where you show things off?
JezebelGallery.com.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right, so you can either stop by in Madrid when you're traveling that way, or you can go online, and I assume that things can be purchased online probably. Is that true?
Yeah, yeah. Most of what we have is one of a kind, so most of it's in the store, but we do have a nice selection online too.
That's great.
Excellent.
Well, thank you. It's been our pleasure meeting you and having you today.
Oh, my
and
pleasure.
We're excited to feature you today on the show.
Thank you very much.
And definitely look for the illumination tree next time you're at the Sunport, because now you know the creator.